I must start by commending the Ministry of Justice, the National Taskforce Against Trafficking in Persons, other relevant stakeholders, and of course my UNDP colleagues for bringing us together this evening for this timely, relevant and important forum on human trafficking or trafficking in persons. The 30th of July was declared the World Day Against Trafficking in Persons by the United Nations General Assembly in 2014. Here in Jamaica, the Governor General, His Excellency Sir Patrick Allen, has declared the week of 24 to 30 July Trafficking in Persons Week. The week's series of activities aim to sensitize the public on trafficking in persons and to encourage us all to treat this issue as a national priority. As a starting point, let's be clear. Trafficking in person constitutes an extreme exploitation of women, men and children. Trafficking in persons is a crime, and trafficking in persons has not spared Jamaica. Criminals prey on vulnerable people in need and without support, and they see migrants, especially women and children, as easy targets for exploitation, violence and abuse. The UNODC Global Report on Trafficking in Persons 2016, to be released later this year, highlights the links between human trafficking and refugee flows. It highlights worrying facts about human trafficking. The most common form of human trafficking is sexual exploitation, predominantly of women and girls. But surprisingly, in some parts of the world, women trafficking women is the norm. Worldwide, almost 20% of all trafficking victims are children. In some parts of Africa and the Mekong region, children are the majority, up to 100% in parts of West Africa. Trafficking happens everywhere, and official figures represent only the visible part of the phenomenon. Actual figures are likely to be much higher. And final facts. Despite countries' legislative progress, there are still very few convictions for trafficking in persons. So if sexual exploitation is the most common form of human trafficking, the second most common form is forced labor. I do not dispute the facts that P.S. Palmer has mentioned from the slavery data, but here are some facts from the International Labour Organizations, ILO. Across the globe, almost 21 million people are victims of forced labor, 11.4 million women and 9.5 million men and boys. Almost 19 million victims are exploited by private individuals, but also over 2 million by state or rebel groups. And of those exploited by individuals or enterprises, 4.5 million are victims of forced sexual exploitation.